In the land of Uz lived a man named Job, known far and wide for his integrity. He was wealthy, respected, and deeply devoted to God. His life was full: 7 sons and 3 daughters, thousands of livestock, a household of servants, influence in the community. He had a reputation for justice and compassion. His devotion was quiet, steady, and sincere. A heavenly conversation. In a realm unseen by human eyes, a conversation unfolded. The sons of God presented themselves before the Lord, and among them came the accuser. God pointed to Job as an example of righteousness. The accuser challenged him, "Does Job fear God for nothing? Take away his blessings and he will curse you to your face." God allowed Job to be tested, not to destroy him, but to reveal his faith. The day everything fell apart, in a single devastating day, messengers arrived one after another. Raiders stole Job's oxen and donkeys. Fire from heaven consumed his sheep. Chaldeans raided his camels. A great wind collapsed the house where his children were feasting. Job's world collapsed in minutes. He tore his robe, shaved his head, and fell to the ground, not in despair, but in worship. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. The second wave of suffering, the accuser returned. "Skin for skin," he said. "Strike his body, and he will curse you." God permitted the test but forbade Job's death. Painful boils erupted across Job's skin. He sat in ashes, scraping himself with broken pottery. His wife, overwhelmed by grief, cried, "Curse God and die." But Job answered, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" The arrival of the friends. 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort him. When they saw him, they were so shocked they sat with him in silence for 7 days. But when they finally spoke, their words wounded more than they healed. They insisted, "You must have sinned. God doesn't punish the innocent. Repent, and God will restore you." Job protested his innocence. He wrestled with God. He cried out in anguish. He cursed the day of his birth. He demanded answers. His faith did not break, but it strained under the weight of confusion, the young voice and the whirlwind. A younger man, Elihu, eventually spoke. He challenged both Job and the friends. Job for demanding that God justify himself. The friends for misrepresenting God's character. Then, when all human voices fell silent, God answered Job out of a whirlwind, not with explanations, not with accusations, but with questions that revealed the vastness of divine wisdom. "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Have you commanded the morning? Do you give the horse its strength? Can you loosen Orion's belt?" God did not belittle Job, he expanded Job's vision. Job realized that God's wisdom is deeper than human understanding. He bowed in humility. "I spoke of things I did not understand." Vindication and restoration. God rebuked Job's friends for speaking falsely about him. Job prayed for them, and God accepted his prayer. Then God restored Job's fortunes, twice as much as before. New sons and daughters, more livestock than he had ever owned. A long life filled with peace. A legacy of faith that would echo through millennia. Job's story did not end in ashes. It ended in restoration. Why Job's story still matters. Job's journey speaks to every generation. Suffering is not always punishment. Faith can coexist with questions, grief, and lament. God welcomes honest wrestling. Human wisdom is limited. God's purposes are bigger than our pain. Restoration is possible, even after unimaginable loss. Job's story is not about a man who never struggled. It is about a man who held on to God even when he could not understand him.